Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the JustNabz podcast with me, Nabila, and
Nabil, hello.
hey. This is our still month of love episode. How are you
Yeah.
feeling?
Marvelous to be fair. I'm so pumped.
How was Valentine's Day?
It was okay. I got to virtually spend it with a dear girl. I
Ooh,
basically met on Twitter, but she's not from Italy, and so yeah, it was just virtually spending Valentine's together, but
that's so
nothing.
unfair. That's what I wanted to do, but people don't make moves. He was streaming video games on that day, so I was like, okay, jump. So yeah, some people are lucky, some people aren't so lucky.
Yeah,
I
but
spent the day watching rom-coms to feel better
oh.
about the day.
Well, to be fair, I'm quite happy because I don't have a good record concerning as far as Valentine's Day is concerned. I've never had any good experience with it. I actually got to celebrate it kind of just once, and the whole thing went to shambles. Since I remember I found out that my then girlfriend had actually cheated on me on that, not on that day, but I found it out on Valentine's Day. So that's the only time I got to celebrate it, kind of. So since I don't have that good of a record, I'm okay with not celebrating it.
Okay, I've never celebrated it, and yeah, it's just another day. I enjoyed the discounted chocolates afterwards though, so that was fine.
Do you think it's overrated to some extent?
To me, love should be shown 365 days a
Yeah,
year.
of course. But you always have one day. So it is the same thing as
I think with social media, people feel pressured into their partner doing something for them so that, they can show it off to the world. Yeah, but I mean, it's people's preferences. To me, it's a bit overrated because I'd rather be shown affection on my birthday. I
I
love
mean,
my birthday.
it doesn't mean that you're not going to get shown affection on your birthday. So it's the same thing that people say about Women's Day. So yes, you need to respect women, three 365 days a year, but you always have one day in which you celebrate that respect. So it's
Yeah, but I'm
the
pretty
same.
sure Valentine's Day has like some tragic background story, but they just turned it into like they just commercialized it and made it a day of love so that they can sell roses and chocolates and cards and other lavish things.
I don't
Peak
know.
capitalism.
Oh, in that case, I like it. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, we
What
should.
do you do on a virtual date, if I may ask?
So I actually just created some. So on Twitter, there was this whole thing about F1 Valentine's cards. So I just created some of them and sent them
I saw
to.
them. They were
Yeah.
hideous. You always you always pick on my puns, but these were absolutely terrible.
No, mine were good. I don't think they went public, but mine were good. Were spot on, as everything I do. Um, but yeah, I just shared these cards, and yeah, I DM'd her, and we moved to iMessage, and yeah, I got to know her a bit more in depth, and yeah, she's actually an interesting girl, but I mean, distance might play a key role in this whole thing. So, too bad there's a pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Valentine's Day is all in all tricky. Um, both for, as you said, because you have a certain amount of pressure, or because you have to celebrate for some reason that day, even if maybe it doesn't mean anything to you, and your pressure to make a good impression at times. And on the other hand, if you sometimes if you're not, if you if you're single, you are pressured to find someone to celebrate Valentine's Day with. And you end up in these toxic relationships just because you need it
Actually, not
to
really,
celebrate.
because I think there's a whole shift now into spoiling yourself and something called Galentines, where you celebrate with your friends. So I think that's quite nice.
Does it have
People
a
are,
name? Does it have a name?
yeah,
Galentine's.
Galentines, like
Cause yeah,
girl,
yeah, yeah. Cause I did it once um
with
with the
girls.
boys. No,
Oh,
no, no, with the boys. And I don't know if whether it has a name or not. We just went out for dinner, and we were all single, and you know, it was kind of celebrating us instead of, and at the end of it, so we went to celebrate. Last time we did it was like 3 years ago, and at the moment I'm the only one single left out of that table. So pressure
uh,
is on me. But yeah, whatever. I hope everyone had a great Valentine, regardless.
it's fine. I'm the only single one in my friends group as well. But yeah, it's like no, no, no. I like this whole movement. Like as Coach Naz said in our last episode, which did very, very well, by the way.
Hmm.
It's all about accepting yourself, being comfortable with your own presence, loving yourself first before letting someone else in. So I mean, if I guess if you're okay with your own company, it wouldn't be a problem. Like you wouldn't feel the outside pressure to be in a relationship or spend a day with someone because of what other people are saying.
Hmm. Yeah. I was actually looking up the history of Valentine's Day, and it is there's this legend which is quite good, to be fair. So it comes from the third century in Rome, the Empire of Rome, and the emperor was Claudius II. And basically, he figured that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families. So he outlawed marriage for young men. But there was this Valentine, who was a priest, who, realizing the injustice of the decree, defied Claudius and continued to prefer marriages for young lovers in secret. But then his actions were discovered, and Claudius ordered that he be put to death. And so he was made a martyr, and maybe that might be the origin of Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I think that's the story I heard once upon a time.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it the same thing that they used to say about? I think it was Enzo Ferrari who said it, or Niki Lauda. I can't remember, but someone said that if you're a Formula One driver, you get 1 second slower per lap, per per child you end up having. So if you have like two children, you get 2 seconds
Well,
slower.
that would explain Romain Grosjean.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it has of course some founding. I mean, if you take Niki Lauda or Enzo Ferrari's days, people used to die on the track back then. Same
Mm.
goes for soldiers. So not having someone to think about, maybe it made sense to them, but I don't know. Yeah, but this might be the origins of Valentine's Day. It is.
This might be why Lewis Hamilton is holding out on a relationship or marriage.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that regardless of who you are, whether you are just a random person or you are one of the greatest of the sport, you always have to hold on yourself until you find the right one. So there's no there's no shortcut to a proper person to spend the rest of your life with.
I was just looking through people's Valentine's Day stories and like what people did for their other halves, and I saw Laurie Harvey's story. Do you know who she is?
No.
So she is Steve Harvey's daughter,
Okay.
and she is in a new relationship with Michael B. Jordan, who played Killmonger in Black Panther.
Okay.
And he actually rented out an entire aquarium to take her to on Valentine's Day. And he like threw in roses and had like all this fancy Valentine set up just so she could see the turtles, because apparently she loves turtles. And so he did this for her, and he bought her shares in a big bag brand. Yeah, which
That's
is
anticlimactic.
no, I mean, instead of buying her the bag, he buys her shares in the bag, so the money is continually.
Right. So let's have no. It's okay, but let's have
But I
this
mean, people
conversation.
prefer different things.
No, of course. But would you personally rather have, let's say a Gucci bag or shares in Gucci?
Shares in Gucci.
Right. So I'm a bit more maybe of a romantic, and I would never, I, I, I personally would never gift shares for Valentine's Day,
But I mean,
because
he gave it to her over and above other things. Like he gave her jewelry and like
yeah, of
super
course.
looks expensive. Like this was just a cherry on the top. But then it also comes back to what is the person's love language. Have you ever
Yeah,
heard about love
indeed.
languages?
Not too much. So if you would care to explain.
Okay, so I learned this a few years ago that there are five different love languages that people speak. The first one is words of affirmation, where people need to hear their partner say, I love you, thank you, send them voice notes, giving them words of kindness, making them feel good with words. And then the next one is quality time, where you give your partner, or the person wants their partner to give them their undivided attention. So, no TV, no chores, no phones, no distractions, just the two of them spending time together, doing whatever. Even if it's just sitting, as long as the person has their partner's undivided attention. The next one, which is my love language, is receiving gifts. So this person thrives on like thoughtfulness and effort behind getting receiving gifts. So they would expect their partner to put in a lot of thought into the gift. It doesn't even have to be an expensive gift. It's just, oh, they thought of a little thing that I told them some time ago and they remembered and got me that. Like, that's very cute. And just keep the gifts coming, because I mean, what other ways to show love? Then the next one is acts of service, where you expect your partner, or don't expect, but you would like your partner to show love by just doing things without you having to ask. So if you've had a long day and don't want to wash the dishes or cook, they don't even, protest, and they'll just do it for you without you having to ask. And it gives you that warm fuzzy feeling, like, oh, they're so kind and cute in doing this for me. And then the last one is physical touch, where you are a person who loves to be hugged and kissed, and you have your hand held, back rub, massages, anything where you know it's physical touch. And this also can apply to platonic relationships with friends. It doesn't even have to be romantic love. So I read something at the beginning of the pandemic or halfway into the pandemic where it said people whose love language is physical touch were actually struggling because they need to hug people
Yeah.
or touch
Hmm.
someone or shake their hand, and it was hard for them to have social distance from people.
Yeah. Um,
So yeah, there is actually a website where you can check what your love language is, whether you're a couple, a single, a child, a teenager. So
what's
it's
the name of the
called
website?
5lovelanguages.com/quizzes. So, but it's the number 5.
Hmm. I want to do it.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, well, I think I have some triggers, if so they can be defined as. Um, I
It
think,
wouldn't, so you don't only have one love language, it's just
yeah,
that one is more predominant than the others. So even if uh receiving gifts is my strong language, like second would be something else, third something else, fourth something else, and last of importance would probably be physical touch. I think I can't remember mine in order, but I know I don't like being hugged, so
hmm,
that's not really a love language for me. Or
hmm,
it is, but not an important one.
fair enough. I have some triggers. For instance, if I'm somewhere and I need to get back home, when someone says, "Text me when you get home," that's cute. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Or um, also, like, what are you up to? That I don't know. It seems like people are someone is actually interested in your life and what you're actually doing. So at the end of the day, it all comes out. It all comes to how interested someone is in
Yeah.
you and your life.
Yeah,
So
like when someone asks how's the podcast going, and I'm like, oh, I have a podcast.
thank you. You noticed. um, yeah, and I think I'm pro physical touch. Um, I I deeply appreciate it. Um, so yeah, but I need to take this test. But you know
Yeah.
what's tricky, to be fair, is when approaching someone to realize their love languages.
Mm. That's
So
a difficult one.
yeah, so for
I feel like people
instance,
should have it in their bios. You know how they have, like, some people
no,
have their personality types? They should
yeah,
be like, my love language is receiving gifts. So then you can send them a bunch of flowers
no,
before
actually,
sliding into the DMs.
actually, you know what? I'm a strong believer in having to discover the other person. So actually, so for instance, you don't like physical touch, but if I were the one who was approaching you, I would deeply appreciate to discover and find out this
Oh, you
side
know
of
how you
yours.
discover if you touch me, I'll punch you.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So that's the thing about approaching. So especially some people I know, when they go and approach someone else. So for instance, some friends of mine, when they go and approach a girl, they think that if they a faux pas, if they do something wrong, then it's gone. No, it's not like that. So when you approach someone, you are meant to be finding out how they react to different stimulus, to different stimuli.
Hmm.
So I think I think that's the beauty of it at the end of the day, having to figure out what the person you're approaching likes, what they don't like, really. So, for instance, if I was approaching you, I wouldn't go for a huge hug out of the blue, but when you try and touch the shoulder, for instance, and you see you get rejected, you get that love
Hmm.
language is really a hate language. So
Yeah,
and
I suppose
you
it's
avoid doing
different.
it.
I suppose it's different in different countries because in South
Hmm.
Africa, where we have such a high crime rate and a high rate of sexual abuse and robberies and whatever, someone coming up to you randomly and touching your shoulder would scare the shit out of you because you're like, oh my God, what does this person want? Like, am I about to be kidnapped or robbed or raped? Or so it's actually terrifying. But I suppose if someone in Europe wouldn't mind it or somewhere else.
No, no, no. If someone comes and touches your shoulder out of the blue, yes, they would mind it as well. What I
Uh,
was talking about is while you're talking, while you're getting to know the other person, you tap on the shoulder, for instance, and so it is someone you know, someone you've been talking to for 10 or 15 or even an hour, maybe minutes or even an hour, and to test whether that's a love language or not, how they
in
react
South
to physical
Africa, there's
touch.
still too short a time to know someone to
No,
trust
bloody
them.
hell. You're living in Guantanamo. But yeah, I mean,
And men are
yes,
scary here. Men are really scary in South Africa.
no, I can't judge on that. And but yeah, I mean, I figure it has to do with culture and circumstance as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do agree with that.
I mean,
But
there are
yeah, I mean,
some nice ones, but they're usually taken.
okay.
Yeah, the good ones
Uh,
get snatched up early.
I think we have some. I mean, we have that kind of men here in Europe as well. Of course, they're all over the world.
Yeah.
To be fair, but I guess the ratio, the rate of them is less. Maybe I don't know. I can't really
Yeah,
judge.
yeah. It's higher here in South Africa, definitely.
No. But yeah, I mean, uh, just if you know what I feel that sometimes people approaching someone else get too so much pressure that they end up bottling it, throwing it, because they make a faux pas, they do something wrong, and I don't know, they just panic comes along, and it seems like they've thrown everything. I think the best. This is when people say you have to be confident to some extent, um, to the best you could do to approach someone, regardless whether it's someone you like or just a new friend you would like to make. It's just not feeling that anxiety. If you say something wrong, it's completely okay. So I've had this time. There was this friend of mine who's diabetic, and she had this little thing to measure. Um, I can't remember what it did measure, but it was
Her
it
it
was
monitors her glucose levels.
it might be, yes, yes,
Is it
yeah,
that?
yeah, and it was just a small. It was kind of a very very small phone. It had this screen,
Yes.
yeah. So when I went there, and I didn't really know her, so I was literally about to say, "I'm Nabil. Pleasure to meet you." And the first thing I said is this a new kind of smartphone? Or is it a Tamagotchi? Yeah, a Tamagotchi, which was this little game which had these little pets
Yes, I used
when
to
we were.
love those. I had
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I said, is this a Tamagotchi? And she said, no, I'm diabetic. So this is how you start a proper relationship. So it's completely fine, even if you say
Mm.
something wrong, as long as you don't know, because I didn't know, obviously.
Uh,
Um,
I feel like if you don't embarrass yourself in front of someone,
it's not
like where's
proper.
the fun in that? Like
Yeah.
everything can't be perfect all the time. You're gonna have to slip up somewhere. I mean, we're all human. It's
No,
no
but even
like
if it was too perfect, it would be boring, wouldn't it?
yeah, like I know people are scared to approach someone because they like scared, oh no, what if this person rejects me or what if they think I'm a loser? But like just do it. Like even if you embarrass yourself, like I've done countless of times. So I've done so many times. But I don't care what they think of me. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna shoot my shot and
Yeah,
let
I
the
think
arrow fall into the ground.
that comes from self-love as well. Because if you say, oh, he or she is going to think I'm a loser, It's maybe
Yeah.
because deep inside you think yourself are a loser. So you need to lose that
Yes.
perception of yourself.
Mirroring.
Yeah. You need to lose that perception of yourself before, you know, having someone accepting you as you are.
Yeah, I
So
see
yeah,
you learnt a
that's
lot from our last episode.
I did. I always learn. I did. No, 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 really. It was so interesting, and I had so many people. Now, I might sound like Donald Trump saying this, but I had so many people reaching out and saying that was a good episode, to be fair.
Mm,
And because the things we talked about are quite not only interesting, but affect much, I mean, many more people than we think. Even people who are around us and we think they are so confident, they're really not. That's quite a mask they put on. So that's why all we want to do at the end of the day is encourage people opening up
mm.
with their
I,
friends, for
I
instance.
still have people who reach out to comment on previous episodes that we've done like last month, month before. And I'm just like, oh wow, you are playing catch up now. That's nice. Um, so I think words of affirmation are probably my second love language because I really love it when people, give us feedback on our podcast and
Yeah.
engage in conversation about it. It's nice. And also, we have an easy conversation starter when we meet new people like, "Hello, I have a podcast."
That's bragging.
No, it's not bragging, but I mean, they're like, "Oh, really? Like what's your podcast about?" And then you can just like start talking
Hmm.
about different topics that we've covered, talk about some of the things that we've talk about our guests. We've had the most amazing guests on our show, actually.
And the other host,
I didn't hear that.
and the other host. I know you
I did.
brag because you have
Oh
a
no,
podcast with
your
me.
line is a bit dead. I can't hear anything.
Fair enough. Yeah, I absolutely agree. But I think there's a fine and blurred line between being interesting and bragging about it. So, um, yeah, well, whatever. I completely agree. I completely agree. And um, to be fair, I've had conversations with people who I didn't think I would have such conversations with because they had this input from our episode. So they go like, "Oh, I saw that you talked about this. Care to discuss it further?" Of course, I'm
Mm.
always open to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
I love
actually,
that. Because I
this
hate
part,
small talk. I hate like, hey,
yeah,
how are
me
you?
too.
Okay, what you doing?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm
me too.
just chilling. All right.
Absolutely.
What music do you listen to? What's your favorite color? Bruh, I have had it up to here with favorite colors. I'm done with favorite colors.
What's your
Let's
favorite
have a.
color?
What's my favorite?
Yeah, I don't
Mine
know that.
depends on my stage in life and what my mood is. I used to have like set favorite colors, but as
But
I s- as I
right
grew
now,
up,
this
um,
exact
I went through a yellow phase where I like completely like absolutely loved yellow.
is the
Um,
worst color on earth.
No,
Literally.
it was
Yes.
like I was actually upset. It suits my skin tone though. So,
Yellow.
anyways, right now my favorite color is, I'd say, um, orange.
No,
And
fair enough. It's because it's
it's
because
not because
you
Daniel
mentioned
Ricciardo just went to McLaren.
no, 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 no. It's because you just mentioned the two colors I hate the most. So yeah, fair enough. Um,
I went through a lavender phase where I was obsessed with lavender and purple. And my room was even lavender. Like after a few years it got so depressing. I had to paint it again. It's now blue, which is very calming.
hmm,
There's
fair
actually
enough.
meanings behind colors, which is really interesting. I actually just finished this art wellness course. It was a 7 day wellness course where you every day you do a different like meditative art challenge. So it's a nice way to just sift through your emotions and your feelings and declutter your mind and just go back to a time. Like one of the challenges were, you know, go back to when you were free as a child and just painted whatever, which was really nice because so often we find ourselves wanting, I don't know about about you, but as an artist or as a creative, and I know a lot of other creatives go through this where you feel like you don't want to start something because you're scared it's not going to be perfect. So this really taught me, like, you know, just come out and just do it, whether it's perfect or not. And just take a leap of faith. Like, even if it's not perfect, who cares? You're the only one looking at it.
Yeah,
Don't do things to impress other people.
I do agree.
Yeah,
I
so
do
I
agree.
enjoyed it. And then they also gave like the meanings of all the colors and stuff, which was really nice.
Hmm. And what's the meaning of red?
Of red.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will tell you what is the meaning of red. Is
Besides
that your
being,
is that your favorite color?
yes, I have mainly two favorite colors. One is red, and the other one is blue, dark blue.
Is that because of Ferrari?
Well, red kind of yes. Um, Dark blue, I can't see how it um relates to
Okay.
Ferrari.
Okay, I'll tell you what. So red is associated with life, celebrations, healing, and initiations. It can mean raw energy, fire of emotion, protection, transformation, love, and fertility.
Fertility.
Yes.
Oh, marvelous.
Yeah, so I don't know if you watched which movie was it? I think it was Crazy Rich Asians where she wanted to wear something, but then her mother was like, no, wear this red dress because it shows fertility, like it shows that you're fertile.
Oh yes, I see it. I saw it.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
loved that
can't remember the
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Indeed.
So blue is calmness, serenity, peace, sky, and sea, associated with cleansing, nourishing, cooling, nurturing, and mothering, awakening of intuition, and attainment of wisdom.
Right. Yes. Um, can't see how blue relates to me. Since I'm a chaotic, grumpy, um,
Maybe
angry.
you need more blue in your life to keep you calm and, you
Yeah,
know,
indeed.
serene.
I think I need to repaint my room in blue. Uh, I think that could do the trick. And I've also been, as of late, um, been having green all over the place because
Mm.
um, I put. So the thing is, I put the Moroccan royal family logo on, which are these two golden lions on a green background, the Moroccan green. So
Mm.
I have both on my computer, the monitor, and my phone. I have this basically green wallpaper with these golden lions in the middle. So I've been getting green. So I would like to ask you
But
one last
splurges of
one.
green are actually good. Because it's like it represents rebirth, healing, renewal, nature, growth, all those
Great.
lovely things. Yeah, so it's good to have sprouts of green in between.
Good. Good, good, good. I'm the ultimate wise man. Ah, lovely.
Both in both senses.
Yeah. Oh, marvelous. Yes. And so, yeah, getting back to small talk. I hate small talk as well. Like so much because it doesn't give you any input, doesn't require your brain to work at all. So it's and it gets a bit tricky when it converts to pillow talk, which no one talks about anymore. But it is, I think it's still important nowadays. Because if you remember, it was a thing back in the early 2000s. Everyone was all about pillow talk. But now, no.
There was that
I,
song that Zayn did, Pillow Talk. I can't sing it,
so I
but
hate
it
the
was with Gigi
singer.
Hadid.
Yeah, I hate the singer. I hate your cover of it. If you could not sing it anymore.
No, my throat is really sore right now, actually.
Yeah, that should be the issue. Yeah, that's it. Surely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me, I'm a very good singer on a good day
When's the good day?
when I'm on my own.
Marvelous. Yeah, props to you then. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've never that. As I said, sometimes I feel like if I talk about this podcast and things like that, if I'm the one talking about it first, it seems like I'm bragging. So that's not even a joke. I think I sound like I'm braggy, and I don't really care, but it kind of
It's not
spoils
really
the
because I mean it's
conversation.
kind of like telling someone what your occupation is. Because I mean we're not like business is not booming yet. So like we're still a humble podcast. We have a small little community of loyal listeners whom we love. And so I think
Yes.
it's just like telling someone like, "Oh, I'm a doctor," or whatever. Like, it's like your occupation. I'm a podcaster.
Hmm.
It's all about your perception.
Yeah,
If you see it
absolutely.
as bragging.
It's because okay, I guess it's whatever. I will try. I will talk about my podcast 24/7 from now on, since it's not even
I mean, not
bragging.
24/7, but if a girl asks you, what do you do?
Yeah, of course. I have a podcast. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, whatever. So yeah. So here's a question. Love wise, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh God, is this an interview? Is this a job
Yes.
interview?
Yes.
In 10 years' time.
Uh-huh.
Oof.
Wait, let's do 5 years.
Okay, 5 years. Um, okay, so every 5 years when I get asked this question, I see myself in a specific place, but then 5 years comes and then so much changes. So I don't know an exact place, but I kind of know the space I want to be in. So I want to be like happy, you know, accepted, living comfortably with myself. Um, I want a nice partner, just someone decent who is going to also accept me the way I accept myself and love myself. Yeah, that's where I see myself in 5 years, and also with the career that I want, thriving in that career. What about you?
Um, well, ideally, same. Realistically, I think I'm I think I'll be on the path of the career I want, but realistically, I don't think I mean, love wise, family wise, and things like that. I don't know if I'll be in the place I would like to be,
Mm,
because at some point I feel like I'll be driven to sacrifice a bit of myself for my career. Because I have this weird perception of life, in which we do not exist in these, I don't know, 80 years we live, but we exist as a legacy for those who come after us.
mm,
So, these 80 years we spend on this earth are not really worth it. So you can't remember all the people who lived even yesterday, up until yesterday. Uh, but you remember some specific legacies. So my point is, I want to leave some kind of legacy, be it a good one, maybe. I don't want to be Adolf Hitler, but that's why I think, for some weird reason, I am going to, I don't know, sacrifice maybe myself indeed, for my legacy. So
Why
that's
not
why,
have both?
because you can't have anything, everything.
Who
So
said
in
so? They make you believe that, but if you would
no,
put your mind to it, you really can do it. You can
um,
have it all. Manifest it. Speak it into existence, put it out in the universe, attract it into your life. Go out there with your mindset. I'm going to have it all. It's our mind is such a powerful tool. If you put limitations on yourself, then yes, you're going to achieve only what you've put a limit on, like what you've set yourself to achieve. But if you're saying, I want a personal life, I want a family, and I want a legacy, expand your mindset. You can do it. I believe in you.
no, thank you. I deeply appreciate it. No. Jokes aside, I deeply appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I think it comes from a perception of how you see life. So I usually um, rank everything I have to do and everything in my future in a priority list. So um, where I have my top priority and things that come after. I would say, like number one for many people would be happiness. For me, it's not happiness, because I didn't see that as a. Um, I see that just like as a consequence of uh, reaching and fulfilling your priority list. So my priority list, number one is leaving some kind of legacy for my future children, for the people who will come after me. Um, so that's my primary reason in my priority list. So when everything that comes after, it automatically gets redirected to some secondary space in time, in my schedule. So that's why I don't think I could do everything realistically. I would like to think like I would be able to do it, but I don't think so. Because every time I wanted to do everything, I ended up failing in everything or not doing things properly. So I would rather do less things but properly than do more things but not at a good level.
Interesting. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just someone who just does whatever my gut tells me to do. If I'm not happy in a situation, I leave it. I If something is not going the way I planned or wanted it to go, I abandon it. Like, why should I stick around just to achieve some goal I made for myself, but it's not working out for me and not, it's taking a toll on me mentally. So, um, well, it's out now, but I just recently resigned from my job. I don't have anything else, but I was like, you know what? This isn't bringing me happiness anymore. This is not fulfilling me. I just need to go off and get something new, experience something new, try different things. Yeah, and if I fail, I fail. If I succeed, I succeed. Failure is a lesson. So
Of
that's
course.
kind of my where I am. So I just like I know it frustrates a lot of people, and like some people who like you who have like routine and set plans, and like they like, oh my god, like how are you gonna manage, and like I wing it. I've been winging this life. And to be honest, when I was in high school and they always asked us to make plans, I could never. I would make up random shit, like standard stock standard shit, like, oh, when I'm 25 I'll be married and I'll have this job, and bruh, none of that even worked out. So yeah, I just kind of wing my life. Whatever happens happens. As long as I am being authentically me and I am happy, and yeah, I just that kind of person.
Hmm. I'm obviously happy for you, of course. As I said, it's different perceptions of life, and
Mm.
everyone should uh, adhere to their own perceptions. You should
Mm.
not live your life by someone else's
Yeah.
standards.
And the
So,
worst thing, do you know what I really hate is like those positive Instagram accounts or like these rule book tips where people be like, every morning when you wake up, don't look at your phone for 1 hour
mhm,
and just like meditate and do this and you don't tell me what's going to make me happy. Like, okay, I appreciate your tips, but like different things work for different people.
yeah.
And it's like what you consume on your phone in that first 1 hour that makes a difference. Like, I'm not gonna wake up and just like open the news.
What do
But
you
yeah, like,
consume? What do you consume on your phone when you wake up? First
uh,
things you see. Is
in,
it Twitter?
no, no, no. So there's this app that I have. It's called the Storyteller app. Um, this lady, Morgan Harper
Again,
Nichols.
not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored. So she has this really nice app where it's like a lot of thoughts that I do have or like motivations, but in a very poetic way, which I love. And the artwork with it is beautiful as well. So I like to just every morning, the notification comes up and I check that and I'm like, okay, this is cool.
Hmm.
It makes me feel nice as well. And then yeah, second is Twitter. I just check my notifications. I don't check my timeline. And then I don't get any DMs, so it's fine. Yeah, there's no DMs to check, no iMessages to check. I don't check WhatsApp so early in the morning. I hate the app anyway. Um, yeah, and then I just lie in bed. What
Um,
about you?
I actually spend zero time uh, from the time I wake up to the time I get up from bed. So I don't stay in bed with my phone. I get up and I go and brush my teeth. Always brush your teeth when you wake up, not after breakfast.
Yes.
And yeah, then I pick up my phone while I'm having breakfast. And first thing I check recently is WhatsApp because since we are in the month of love, I'm expecting and wishing for a specific message from a specific person.
Yeah, I bet.
And yeah, and after WhatsApp, I check the news. Yes, I'm that kind of person. And I check. Actually, this might sound as a joke, but I actually check the stock market, and then Twitter, and then my breakfast is done, and I'm ready to go. I don't check my emails until at
Yeah.
least 10 a.m.
Yeah, 10 o'clock is the earliest for
Yeah,
emails. Anything before 10,
exactly.
uh-uh.
No, 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 no. Emails, yes. I take that. So I usually wake up around 7 a.m. And so up until 10 a.m., I do things on my own. Um, Unless I'm waiting for some kind of input, work related, I go on my own and then check the emails at 10 a.m., but not earlier than 10 a.m. So during that coffee break at 10 a.m., I check.
I'm
I check
waiting
my
for the
emails.
day where I can wake up to DMs and, messages from a specific person. But
Ah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
until then,
That's why I check WhatsApp. I literally have like 50 unread messages because I don't really care about them. But I'm
it's
waiting
just that
for
one person.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just for
why
one.
that's why you take so long to respond to my messages and you ignore my
Yes,
messages.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay, I
I'm
get you.
sorry.
It's fine. I also leave
Um,
you on red. I'm
thank
like,
you.
oh shit. I'm like, what does he want now?
I don't actually. I don't check my Twitter DMs. I have some, but I hardly check them because I have both DMs and requests, and the requests are hilarious because it's just people insulting me because they get triggered. Because I like to trigger people on Twitter,
Yeah, I
and
know
so fair
that.
enough, completely fair. And DMs, yes, I check them sometimes, but I still have some unread DMs. and I'll check them later. Actually, I feel like it.
Okay. Yeah, but
Oh,
so speaking of love languages, we have two announcements.
yes.
Yeah, so instead of receiving gifts, we are giving a gift. We
Yeah.
reached 100 followers on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and we have one lucky winner of a 3-month Spotify subscription just to listen to our podcast.
It's actually free. So if you're listening to this, it's free. Don't think you have to pay for it.
Yeah, no, and you can listen to any music that you want.
Yeah.
So our winner is.
Oh, go
Are
on.
you gonna announce our winner?
Oh, me? Okay. Yes. Sorry. It's Evelina, I think it's pronounced. It's Evelina from Instagram. And thank you for being with us. You've been so active and we have noticed you, senpai. So
She's actually a big fan of our podcast. I
yeah.
love this girl. She's
Um
so supportive.
yeah, I've seen some interactions and thank you. It's I would you know when I said I never expected people to get affectionate to this thing. Yes, it was exactly this.
Yeah, it
Um,
makes me emotional. Like I want to
yeah,
cry
me
happy
too.
tears.
Me too. So thank you very much, Evelina. It's really an honor for us to have you among our listeners. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And our second
And yeah,
announcement.
yeah, no, wait. And Evelina, if you're listening, please DM us,
Yes, yes.
so we can, send you the gift card.
And also, disclaimer, this is not sponsored by Spotify.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an independent thing.
absolutely. So let's roll out the second announcement.
Well, you seem to be excited about it, so I'll hand it over to you.
All right. No, I'm not excited, but it actually pains me. But this is the end of not the podcast of season two, and we are going to wrap it up for 3 weeks. We will be coming back on the third week of March. The second or the third week of March. Can't remember.
It's around my
But
birthday. Yeah.
yeah, which is on March the 21st. Please say good happy birthday to her. And so yeah, this is a wrap up. We are going to come back with many new news and new.
Fresh
No, I don't.
content,
Yeah, exactly. I don't want
trying
to
new
spoil anything.
things. Yeah,
Yeah, no
so it's
spoilers.
exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are taking some time to mentally reset and to prepare for these new things coming up. So exciting, and we are going to give a new, um, even improved face to this podcast. So we hope you will like it. So really,
Yeah.
thank you to every single one for being with us so
We've
far.
yeah, we've had two really good seasons.
Yeah.
Honestly wasn't expecting it to do this well, but I am so grateful for it. Yeah, it was an interesting 2 seasons. We had some great moments. I feel like we've had a lot of women guests. Next season, I want to have like a nice man.
I'm okay with women.
Are you? Yeah, obviously you are. The last, yeah, we had a male guest a very long time ago. Mm-mm. I need someone attractive on the show again.
We've had two, and yeah, and then we have another man here. If you can see me, so fair enough.
You don't count.
No, really fair enough. And yeah, it's been quite the ride. And so, really, thank you to every single one of you. And yeah, we will see you in season 3.
Yes.
So if you are new, you can go back and be it on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify. You can find all our previous episodes. Pick the one you are mostly fan of. We have some specific titles, so it shouldn't be hard. And yeah, and send us your feedback whenever.
We'll still be
you feel.
active on social media, so you can still reach out to us
Yeah.
there at JustNabz Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, or even our personal accounts.
Absolutely. So, thank you everyone for being with us. It's been an honor, really, and would never have expected it. This is just the beginning of what I feel like is going to be a huge thing. So you are literally the la crème de la crème, the elite of this world. So
Yes.
thank you.
And speaking of
we feel
5-year
honored.
plans, we still plan to be around in 5 years.
Yeah, but I think we will be much bigger than this. So
Yeah, definitely. No,
if you are
10
among the
times
first,
bigger.
let's not put a number on it, shall we?
Dream big, people. Dream
Yeah.
big. Manifest your dreams. Put it out into the universe and believe it's going to happen. Just the way I believe this person is going to DM me. Goodbye
luck.
and see you around my birthday. Remember, my love language is receiving gifts. So you are most welcome.
Bloody hell. Put an Amazon list and spare us, right?
Yeah, I'll post
Alrighty.
my wish list.
Great. So have a nice end of February and mid-March, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.